Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your night to join me. I really do. Tonight was an interesting night. It's Friday. I still have yet to really sit down for a few minutes. It's like I get a chance to, and then I've been trying to sleep, but that hasn't come to fruition yet. It's just a lot of random stuff, and it's good. I like being busy, but I also like being able to talk. And right now, as I'm on camera, obviously I need breathing exercises, which is something that I do. But I obviously didn't do that enough because I'm here like halfway hiccuping through the introduction of an impromptu speech. So I'm terribly sorry for that. But what I'm not sorry for is being so appreciative and reminding everybody that I really think y'all are great people, whether or not you watch the channel because, well, I wouldn't hope that it's because you hate me or something, but for whatever reasons you come and decide to give me your time, I am forever indebted to you. And the thing that I can continue to do to repay you is vlogs about nothing every single day, 4 times. So tell somebody about it. And, sooner than later, we'll have all the kinds of hundreds of thousands of different and unique individuals with us so that we can sort of move forward in the things that we want to do. And so, listen, I'm an advocate for civic engagement, and it's important that we define civic engagement because not a lot of people know what civic engagement is. And in fact, it's a sad but, pretty accurate truth that naturalized citizens know a lot more about our country than we do as natural born citizens that don't have to take these crazy classes about knowing US history, more than just like SAT, ACT type college entrance exams. This is for citizenship and so forth. And so I bring all of these things up because I think that civic engagement, which is engaging with the community on a federal level, is something that everybody should do. Now, I just more than believe in this. I'm actually the third youngest person in the history of the United States to have received the AmeriCorps Alumni honor when I was just 18 years old. So this is now over half my life ago. One of my major accomplishments happened nearly 2 decades ago. But seriously, it was one that I'll forever be proud of because civic engagement is something that is so important to me that even when I was young, I volunteered 2,600 hours of my time in underprivileged communities to help children learn how to read. And I worked at a school called Whittier Elementary. I worked there for nearly a decade. I was never a teacher or anything, but I tell you, working with some of these kids for close to a decade may as well make you like kind of their quasi teacher in that. I've seen some of these kids like at work now at different places around town, and I'm like, holy potatoes, I am old, and so civic engagement is important. Like, it's important because not all of us do it. I mean, it's easier to live a life as an American without going out of your way to, work at the ballot box or volunteer your time at a blood bank or, any of these things that you can do within your community to engage so that we can promote a kind of inclusivity amongst everybody, and instilling a sort of self worth all at the same time. Because the disconnect between constituents and or citizens and their government often is that the government doesn't care about them. The government is big bad wolf, and I'd argue that the government is like something we should really be invested in so that we can ensure the most number of people the best quality of life as possible. I truly feel like this. I don't think that, having a sort of idea that's anything other than that is accurate. I just really, really enjoy the concept of being a part of a community and not just on a micro local level, but on a country level. You feel me? Like, I'm already wanting to be a global citizen. What's the kind of term for patriotic as it, concerns the whole world? Because I'm like a humanist. Yo, I'm a social capitalist. I'm for Team Homo sapien. I that's it. It doesn't matter if it's Abrahamic or Muslim or Buddhism or atheist or Satanism or secular, whatever it is. I enjoy other people, and I feel like we all have some real good potential. So civic engagement is something that should be talked about. And furthermore, civic engagement takes us to the main meat of what we're eating tonight. And that is, you can call a politician. So for a long time, I feel like because there's a disconnect often between people who want there to be a disconnect between constituents, citizens, and their government, and people who don't want that to be a thing, right? The less kind of effective communication, the more kind of shady and corrupt and crazy things can happen without accountability. Which is kind of currently what happens, I'd argue. But you are encouraged. You can pick up your phone and you can call your politician's local office. You can call your politician's federal office. You can call the President of the United States of America and leave a message on the White House answering machine, because many people have that job. As taxpayers, we pay for people to work in government to serve us. That's literally what their job is. So, again, call a politician. There's some links in the description below. Obviously, links to Congress people that I favor. I'll go off the top of them, before even having made the list, because I know what I'm down for in terms of the kinds of people that represent my best interest and that I think represent more people's interests than not as it concerns progress as we go into the future. So the first one is call AOC, right? Her office is up in New York. I actually made the call a few days ago and I got through and spoke with a human being. Like, they answer the phone. And when they answer the phone, it's business. You're calling because you want to give your opinion about what is going on as it concerns the person that we're paying for to represent us in the best way possible. It's really hard for politicians to represent a lot of people when they don't know what we need and what we want. I mean, they can, assume and guess, and we can't always think they have the most reliable and credible and unbiased sources. You know what I mean? These guys also have lobby money. They got different things going on. And guys meaning in that sense, ladies and they and them and everything in between. I'm just saying that AOC's number is in the link in the description below, and if you feel like she is a good political candidate, I called because I want her to run for president. I wish that she would. I wish that, the delegates that wouldn't have been assigned, and I wish that the Democrats would have had an open forum, and I really wish we wouldn't be so backwards in that we don't want to do the constitutionally appropriated mandated thing out of sheer convenience. The Constitution was not made to be convenient by any means. Seriously, it wasn't. So again, just because the Democrats had a bad experience 60 years ago, they don't want to have a democratic process occur to nominate their respective nominee. That blows my mind. They're literally Democrats. Like, their name is a part of democracy. I'm just saying, and that's not democratic. Because, as I've said on this channel before, and that video is actually really popular, but Kamala Harris isn't going to win. And we all know this. We all know this. And it's not because she's a woman. It's not because she's minority. It's none of that. It's because she's not better than Donald Trump. You feel me? Like, as tough as that is to say, because that's a tough thing to say. I'm just saying, because we also know here on the channel how we feel about former President Donald Trump. And so, again, I just think that you can also call Senator Heinrich, who is like my favorite person in the world. He is a senator here in the state of New Mexico that is vital to my community. And without this man, my community would seriously be in a state of plunder. And I know Mrs. Domenici is running for Senate, and I don't know if she's running for the vacant Senate seat, but Martin Heinrich, like, seriously, sir, I admire the guy a lot. I admire him so much because I've had the pleasure of, as a young person, being able to meet and work with him as he was a city councilman, first year term, true story. And I've always heard good things, whether it's here locally or whether I'm traveling. I just link in the description below. you know I'm just saying, in terms of, I support this man. And I just, again, politicians number to the White House below. I don't know what other numbers I could possibly give, but I can know that you can call too, and it takes just a few seconds. And if you're alpha, or if you're Z, or if you're young millennial, again, this isn't an empty sort of thing that people do. It's something that old people have been doing for over 100 years, writing letters, calling their politicians. If we don't do these things, then again, we can't expect much from the people that we want a lot from when they don't hear from us. So I strongly encourage everybody to have this conversation at home amongst yourselves, and people that you think are like interested in terms of like just getting out there and being a part of that bigger conversation. I really appreciate your time, and I thank you very much for watching the videos. I hope that you guys have a lovely night, and stay safe out there. It's Friday. I know that there's a national weather advisory warning here in Albuquerque. That was a long thing to say. But anyways, I do hope that you guys have a good night. And seriously, I just think that I want you guys to have a good night. Because I did forget what I was talking about there. But it's good because we're going on 12 minutes anyway. So, all right. Bye, guys. Have a good night.